Hello, this is Mr. Millville. I'm going to explain some basic navigation in our Blackboard course. So to access Blackboard, as you're likely well aware, you're going to go into our website ecc.edu and go to My ECC. And once you log in there, on the left hand side you should see a link to access Blackboard. Okay, when you click on that, a new tab will open up and you will see the courses that you're currently taking, and one of them will be our course MT125 listed there under your course list. Okay, when you enter that, it will look like this. Okay, I have my student preview on, so you're not going to see this yellow up at the top, but roughly you should be looking at this same screen here. Okay, and then our main course page, that can be accessed in one of two ways. So you can get to our main course page by clicking this link, or by clicking the home button right here. So that'll reload the page and bring you back to right where you were. Okay, and then we can scroll down here to see syllabus, other information here. I'm going to come back to this in a couple of minutes. The first thing I want to show you is how to create a message and check your messages in Blackboard. So one thing you need to be aware of is that your ECC email is not the same as the Blackboard messaging system. Okay, so if you go back to your main page over here, you're going to notice you have email messages. You have a webmail account at ECC. That is not the same as the Blackboard messaging system. If I send a message to the class or to you individually, you will get a notification in your webmail account that a message has been received to your Blackboard account, but then you have to actually log in to Blackboard to check your messages. So you go to My Messages, and then to check your messages, select the inbox and then open the message. To create a message, this is going to take a little getting used to. The first time you do it, alright, you want to go into and actually select the recipients. Now you actually have to press this to button here, this to link. I'm not going to do that because that'll show a list of names which I don't want to appear in the video. Select to, select the person you want to send it to, and then you have to hit the right arrow to add them to the recipients box, and then press OK. After that, fill out your subject, the body of your email, your message, press submit, and that'll get sent to me or whoever you're sending the message to. Okay, keep in mind all of our communications are going to take place through My Messages in Blackboard, the messaging system in Blackboard. So keep on checking that on a daily basis. It's a good idea to sync your ECC email up to your smartphone if you're using your smartphone for your email, because that'll send you a notification that you have a message, a new message received, and then you can log into Blackboard and check it. Next, let's go into the week 1 folder. So we do have this question and answer forum which you can post homework questions in at any time. Alright, so let me actually open that one up before we get to week 1. So if you have a question you're stuck on in the homework, you can go into here and then create a new thread. Okay, post your question. You can take maybe a screenshot and put it in the body here if you want to do that from the homework. Give it a subject and then submit it, and then myself or other members of the class can comment on that. Okay, now to go back to the main page, you either hit the main course page. If you just wanted to back up one step, up at the top here you have this ladder. We're in the create a thread spot. You can go back to the question homework thread by backing that up, go back to discussion boards if you want to, or just hit the main course page link to go back to our main page. When navigating our course, you're going to see I have weekly folders down below. Okay, I do have links to the online free textbooks we're going to be using. Those links will also be located in each one of the subfolders in each weekly folder. Now in this first week, this is part of the checklist you were going to go through. I wanted you to comment on this discussion board, introduce yourself a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then also complete this intro assignment on answering homework questions in Blackboard. After that, each one of these folders has information and a homework assignment in it. Let's take a look at one of those to see what they look like. Alright, now even though these links look exactly the same, they're a little bit different, and in each one of these folders you're going to find the same 3 things. You're going to find a link to the textbook, to a open source free textbook. So if we click on that, a new tab is going to open up. Alright, and that's a tab 2. that textbook section. Okay. We also see a link for videos. All right, so these videos encapsulate the concepts that are going to be covered in the homework below. Okay, when you click on that, you're going to see in this example a video playlist that I created. All right, so you can go through and watch each of these videos before you start your homework to get a good idea of what types of problems and concepts you're going to encounter. I would suggest when you're doing that, have a notepad handy so that you can take notes of the definitions and maybe some important concepts that were covered in the video to help you speed up through your homework. And then lastly, you will see a link to the homework section for that topic. So this one is sets of real numbers and interval notation. If I click on the third link, it's going to connect to this homework system, which is completely contained within Blackboard. Okay, and then you're going to enter the answers in here. Again, you have the printer version. You can, if you want to look at all the questions at the same time, if you hit the printer version, that'll open a separate link. You can navigate from one question to the next just by clicking this over here on the side. Okay, and then enter your answers. One thing I want to point out, and maybe I'll go back to the first one, is that if you click on one of the answer blanks, you can see this yellow arrow on the right hand side. That's a helper screen for entering answers into the homework system. If I click on that, all it's telling me for this first homework set is how to type in negative infinity and infinity, set union, and DNE. Okay, so for instance, if I click one of those, it'll just input 2 lowercase o's into the answer blanks. And then we would maybe submit that. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of here. All right, now to do that, I don't know if I can go backwards. I'm being covered up by this banner here. I'm just going to hit the back arrow on my browser again. Unfortunately, I can't just go back. Just exit the preview for a second. Okay, and now I can go back to my main course page, or just go back to the home page. All right, and then I'm just going to re-enter our course, and I will put the student view preview back on there. Okay, you should be able to back out of that maybe a little differently than I did there, but again, I couldn't just back out because that was covered up. Let's go to a different one of these folders, and different content folder. Let's go to the second one in here on real number arithmetic, and again, this has got a link to the textbook, a link to videos, and then lastly, a link to the homework. Let me open that homework up. I want to look at another question. Okay, so I'm just going to skip down to say number 6. If I click inside of there, okay, we would then if I hit the yellow arrow again, this is going to bring up this Math Quill helper screen to input it. So suppose you have a problem and you want to type in a square root. You can use this to help you. If you type the square root, maybe you wanted to put the square root of 3x in, which is the wrong answer for this problem, but this is just for illustration. And when you click Save, what that's going to do is type the syntax into the answer blank for you. So this is how you would type it off the keyboard. Notice in the preview over here on the right hand side, you see the square root of 3x. Okay. Now you can also get that by just typing in directly off your keyboard SQRT, parentheses, and then 3x, close your other parentheses there. Okay. Now it's looking for a numerical answer here. That's why it's telling us this, but at least we're seeing the symbol as a square root of 3x in there. All right, and then you would enter your result in. Okay, what you want to achieve here is getting all of these with a 1 out of 1, a green check mark on each one of them. So I'm going to kind of skip down a little bit and complete one of these other questions we have here. Okay, so let's go through this one together. Now, the cube root of negative 27. The cube root of negative 27 is well defined and comes out to negative 3. I'm not going to put the right answer in this just to illustrate that you can get 100% on all your homework. Let's suppose we just put 3 in. We didn't put the negative sign. If I press enter or hit submit, it's telling me I got 0 out of 0, but also that this is now attempt 2 out of 2. The last one was 1 out of 2. So maybe I change it to maybe 4. Maybe I thought I had the wrong answer, or maybe 4 is the correct answer. If I hit submit, now I'm at this screen where I'm at the red X here. I got this problem incorrect, and I don't see a submit button anymore. What you will see up above, though, is a try a similar question button. So if I hit that one, it's going to regenerate the same problem with different numbers. Now, in this case, it changed the problem a little bit. Now we're talking about doing a 4th root of a negative number. A 4th root of a negative number doesn't make sense because that would say what number raised to the 4th power gives me negative 81. There is no such number, so we're going to enter DNE for this problem. If I put DNE there, even in lowercase it's okay, or in capital DNE. Then when I click out and then hit submit, we now see we've got that green check mark there. It's correct. And that's stored now in my gradebook. If you ever see an assignment that says it doesn't have a due date up at the top here, if it says in review mode, please contact me and I will change the setting in there. So I hope that helps navigating the course. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me.